everyone, so for this video I'm going to show you a little bit more of an advanced version for a plant hanger. The first one, the beginner level, is just a spiral knot, which looks absolutely beautiful. You just can't go wrong with it, and once you get the hang of it, it's really pretty simple to do. Now this one is called a square knot plant hanger. So you're going to make these knots, and it's your spiral knot that you learned, but then you're also going to reverse it, which that's where it gets tricky. You actually practice this at the end of your beginner plant hanger to make the basket for your plant to sit in. But you only made like a single square knot instead of doing a row. So I'm going to show you how to create a row, and then you can kind of go from there with like what kind of design you want to do. All right, so let's get to it. So you've got your 4 cords. Remember, you're going to separate them out. And you take the left one, cross it over to the right. Take the right, cross it under, and push it through that left side. This is that same way you did that spiral knot. There's that left cord I started with. I'm just going to push it through and then tighten that. Now to close up that square, or to make a square I guess, because right now we just have a line there, I'm going to take my right cord and cross that one over first. The left one is going to be my under and push through. So this is where it gets kind of tricky. That right one's going to go over and through. And then you tighten that. And it makes a little square there. So that's just one knot. That's one square knot. What I did for these ones was I did 8. And I count them by, you can kind of see like these little bumps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I left a break. And then I started another row of them. So it's up to you how many you want to do. The more that you do, the shorter your plant hanger will be because it uses more cord. An easy way to make it longer is do what I did. Make some sections, leave a break, start another section with the same amount of knots, or it can be, this one I think I did 6. But here, let me get back to this. So let me show you one more time. So take the left over, right under, push that through, left, push over and through, tighten it. Now I gotta reverse it. My right side goes over, left side goes under, pull through. That right cord goes over and push it through. So now I've got 2. So I'll keep going, I'll show you a few more. So you can see this moves relatively quickly once you get the hang of it, and you remember like, oh, I have to do my left one first, or now I have to cross over my right one. That's probably the trickiest part, is just remembering which one did I leave off on. But as you learn this knot, you will kind of just fall into a rhythm and a pattern of it, and also you'll be able to recognize like the cords, like how they overlay and which one you left off on. All right, so now I've got all 4 of my strands with 8 square knots, and then I want to do that break. So whenever I do a break, I just kind of measure, like just stretch out my fingers. It's really up to you. Any length you want to do it. Just make sure that on each cord, they all measure pretty close to the same, okay? So that will be the tricky part. And then you just go ahead and start it over. So you just start by making that beginning knot. I always hold one right next to it so I know. Yep, where to line that up. There we go. And then I'm just going to work my way down. And like I said, the second set, I made it 6 square knots. So I did 8, then I did 6. So we'll just pretend I did 6 there. And then after 6, I just made another section. I only did 4, left another section, and then 2. And the next step is I'll show you how to finish this off so that you can make the basket, the hanging part for your plant. Okay, so now I'm at the bottom of the plant hanger where I want to create the basket. So you're going to do the square knot again, but remember you're joining your cords. So I'm going to take 2 from here and the 2 closest from here, and I'm going to make a square knot. Now you can, you might have to measure your planter and make sure you leave enough room. If you have a small planter, you can make your square knot really close to this design. If it's a bigger one, I would stretch it out and go a little bit farther down. And you can get creative with this too. You can just do 1 square knot to join them, or maybe you want to do 2 or 3 to make like a little row, a little pattern on your plant. So maybe I'll do 2 here, just for something different. Okay, so I joined those. Now I've got to go ahead and join my next set. And then I'm going to do this so that I'll have a row of 4. So I've got my 4, the first 4, and now I'm going to make another row of 4, if you remember from the beginner plant hanger video. So I have to take the closest 2, make sure these are the right ones, and I'm going to make the square knot again. Just a reminder, you might want to measure your plant to make sure that it fits. If you have like I always say like a 6 to 8 inch pot, you want this area to be about that same, like 6 to 8 inches between. You can even get away with like 5 inches here, but you want it to be able to stretch and expand to fit that pot. And I like how I had the 2 at the top, so I'm going to do 2 square knots for the bottom part also. So then I'll do that on the other 3 strands. So I'll have a group of 4, and then we'll join them together and finish off this plant hanger. All right, so now I am finished. I've got my final ones at the bottom to join everything together to make the basket. So now I just need to put all my cords together at the bottom. So you can either do what we did in the beginner video, where you take everything, wrap around your fingers and just knot it. Or if you want to get a little fancy, there is a slip knot video, and that works really great. So I'm going to show that for here because it's just cool and something else you can add to your macrame tools. All right, here we go. So you take a piece of the cording. I just cut off all my extra, and I had a very long piece. It's probably, I would say, 12 inches long. And I'm going to group everything, hold it together. I'm going to take that piece and leave the tail at the top. I'm going to wrap it around 2 fingers, crisscross it over, and then wrap it tightly all the way around, and it's going to wrap down, and it's going to go over that loop where my fingers are, so I might need to move them. Okay, now I'm getting close to the edge of the loop, so I'm going to push this cord that I've been wrapping through it, pull it through, hold it at the bottom. Here's that tail. I'm going to pull the tail up, and it just tucks that loop right under, and then pull the bottom portion down just to tighten it. And then I can go ahead and cut those because I don't need, at least the top one. The bottom one kind of blends in with the rest, so I'm not very worried about that. But super cool way just to finish it. And this is fun too if you have different color cording. I always like to put a different color there, just kind of as a little accent. And just like a pop of color for your plant hanger. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Good luck.